better cock your pistols.
Bar's open.
Hey, Johnny!
Oh, you sounded great tonight.
Oh, I especially loved the ending. Oh.
The medley.
No, when the curtain came down.
But
God, not again. Operator, information LA.
Money, Houston. We're talking money. Millions and millions of dollars, yen, pounds, francs, Deutschmarks, Swiss francs, guilders, liras. We could clean up. This stuff costs practically nothing to manufacture. I'm telling you, it would be like printing money.
This sounds an awful lot like a business deal your brother Murray had put together.
Is Murray still in Paris?
That's right, but I came up with this company on my own.
Myron, this is not exactly a glamour company.
Yeah, Myron, CJ's right. I'm just not sure that Houston Industries wants to buy a company that manufactures, toilet paper.
Well, somebody's got to.
Yeah.
Mr. Houston, there's a Johnny Foster on the phone for you.
Johnny. Thank you. Well, partner, long time no see.
Houston, I need help. Now, you gotta help me to stop.
Johnny, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about killing people.
Johnny, where are you?
I'm in Vegas, Desert Horizon.
Just hold on a minute, all right? CJ, call the airport. Tell them to get my plane ready. Johnny, listen, stay put. I'll be there in a couple of hours.
Okay, hurry, Houston, please. I don't want to kill any more.
Fabulous, my darling, fabulous. Now, we only have 2 hours until the next show. Surprise me, be on time for the next show. Good.
Christy, you look sloppy as hell out there tonight.
I'm sorry, Mr. Cole. I'm trying. I really am.
Try harder, or you'll be trying food stamps.
Who's there? If this is a joke, it's not very funny.
Doesn't look too terrific, does it?
Johnny? Excuse me. Johnny, what the hell is going on?
Hey, what are you doing? Get up against it. Get over. Go on, get him out of here. Get that garbage out of here. All right, now, who are you now? What's your name?
My name's Matt Houston.
Matt Houston, huh? Private investigator, huh?
Yeah, listen, Johnny Foster is a friend of mine.
You got lousy taste in friends.
Would you mind telling me just what happened here?
Less than an hour ago, a showgirl had her throat cut. That's 3 girls in a month, Mr. Houston. All dead. We found your friend here with a bloody switchblade in his hand. Now, anything else you want to know, Mr. Houston? Because if not, I'm going to stroll out to the parking lot and lose my dinner. And then when I pull everything together, I'm going to have to figure out who I have to inform that this last girl is dead. A husband, a boyfriend, a mother, a father, who knows? Or maybe it'll be like the last time. I'll have to tell a 7-year-old kid that his mommy's never coming home again. Like I said, cowboy, you got lousy taste in friends.
Look, why don't you do us both a favor? Why don't you head back to L.A.?
Because I haven't finished what I came here to do, Johnny.
Yeah, well, it's too late. It's true.
What's true, Johnny?
The blood, the murders.
Listen, are you sure that you killed that girl last night?
I don't know. I guess so. I mean, I'm not sure. After I called you, I had a couple of drinks. Well, I had a lot of drinks. Next thing I knew, I was knee-deep in cops.
Are you telling me that you blacked out?
Oh, it happens a lot these days. It's been a long time since I sang for your daddy in his roadhouse.
Johnny, there's a big difference between thinking you killed somebody and knowing you did.
Yeah, well, you see, the cops found me with the knife in my hands, and then the shirts and the blood.
Wait a minute, what shirts?
Well, before I called you, I checked my dressing room closet, and I found a shirt that was covered with blood. Now, Matt, the girl that was murdered last night was the 3rd one this month. I must have killed them all.
It's like CJ said, there's a big difference between thinking and knowing. And Johnny, I didn't just fall off the turnip truck, you know. I mean, you gotta help me on this thing.
Yeah, well, the cops are convinced. Why aren't you?
Because I've known you for a long time, Johnny. You used to fake getting sick just to get out of going duck hunting. I mean, you couldn't hurt a fly.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, Matlock. Long before the hit records. Long before the drug of the week or the booze. You see, you remember the way I was. Not the way I've become.
Johnny, if you're 100% sure you're a killer, there's nothing I can do. But if there is the slightest little doubt,
I don't know. Hey, if I did it, this is where I belong. But if I didn't, can you help me get to the truth?
I'll do what I can. I'll do my best. You got my word on that.
Houston, I'll get to work on his bail, but considering what he's being charged with, it's not likely that I can get anything accomplished till later
Houston?
tonight.
I made a few calls to L.A. You got quite a fan club at the LAPD.
Well, we've worked very well together for years.
That's what I understand. So you're a friend of Johnny Foster's. So let me level with you.
You got the lab results on the switchblade.
It's the murder weapon. But that isn't all. 18 months ago in Atlantic City, a series of similar murders took place. 3 women in all. You want to guess which famous singer was performing in Atlantic City at the same time?
Johnny?
Afraid so. His review was playing there.
Let me guess, when the review left town, the killing stopped.
Until a month ago, when his review came here, women started dying again. But I got a hunch. I figure as long as I keep Johnny Foster behind bars, the carnage is going to stop. Excuse me.
Houston, I'm going to tell you something. It is not looking very good for Johnny.
Now, CJ, Johnny may have been in Atlantic City 18 months ago, but he wasn't alone.
Meaning you want me to check in Atlantic City and find out who was there and here at the same time?
That's right. Now, I'll drop you off at the hotel. You can start digging on that. I'm going to go over to the dead girl's apartment and see what I can come up with. Excuse me, I'm looking for the manager.
You found her.
Well, listen, I really hate to bother you.
No bother at all. Give me a hand, would you?
Listen, my name's Matt Houston.
Deborah.
Well, it's a real pleasure, Deborah.
Certainly is. Ready for the bedroom? Aren't you from the decorators?
No. No, I'm a private detective, and I'm working on the murder of Christy Nathan.
She was such a nice kid. Can you believe it? First the murder, then the robbery?
What do you mean, robbery?
Someone broke into her apartment last night.
Well, listen, what would a fella have to do to get inside there and take a look around?
Follow me. I'll think of something.
Okay. thought there'd be horses in cowboy heaven.
Let's go. Catch up to him later.
Oh, listen. Thank you, ma'am.
Drop in again anytime.
I don't believe it. That cowboy's following us.
Lose him.
I don't think he's gonna give up. Then change his mind.
That's just great. First a bath and now a shower.
Well, the rental car company was very understanding. They're going to give you another rental car after I told them you'll pay for the repairs on the old one. Houston, do you have any idea who tried to kill you?
Yes, I do, CJ. Somebody who doesn't want me on this case. Sorry, I couldn't resist that.
Almost getting killed has put you in a very good mood.
It's put me in a great mood, CJ.
Is your brain still a little bit waterlogged or what?
CJ, think about it. Now, the fellas that tried to kill me were pros. Because they were pros, it means they were hired.
Meaning that somebody other than Johnny wants you off this case.
Mm-hmm. Meaning that Johnny is probably not the killer.
Someone's doing an awfully good job of trying to frame him. Want to take a look at your suspects?
Where are we going?
Dancing.
Oh.
Come on. Besides Johnny, there are 4 people in the review here and in Atlantic City. One of them is Brett Cole, the show's director choreographer.
Supposedly the hottest thing to hit Las Vegas since neon light bulb.
Almost as colorful. Makes Casanova look like a Trappist monk and has a mean streak wider than the Rio Grande.
Meaning what?
Well, he likes to express himself with his hands, as in hitting women. Quite a few of these showgirls have to use an extra layer of makeup to cover up the bruises, thanks to Mr. Cole.
Yeah. CJ, who else was in Atlantic City at the same time the review was?
The chap standing up there, Byron Stevens. Interesting background. He's the stage manager. He spent 2 years in the New York penal system.
What was he in for?
Assault with a deadly weapon.
Charming bunch of folks.
And the last two people in the review in Atlantic City are sitting right over there in front of us.
CJ, that's Ted Baer. Have you ever seen his act? I mean, he does these impressions of famous actors and stuff. It's really nifty.
And the woman with him is his mother, Sheila, his agent, manager, co-writer, and best friend. His only other friend in the world is Johnny Foster.
Well, I guess you all thought you were pretty good, huh? Well, I didn't. Since none of you seem to have been born great dancers, I guess it's up to me to make you great dancers. Starting tomorrow, I'm adding a morning rehearsal. They're yours. I'll be in my office.
My darlings, don't fret. Please don't fret. You were fabulous. You'll be fabulous. All right? Now, we only have 2 hours until the first show. Let's all get our things, go to our dressing rooms, and make ourselves even more beautiful.
Come on. CJ, listen, I think I'm going to have a little chat with Brad Cole. Now, I'd like you to follow up the lead for me. Now, when I was in the dead girl's apartment, I found an empty picture frame in there. On the back of it had a sticker that said Oasis Dining Room.
Oh, that's here in the hotel.
That's right.
So you think that she had dinner with the killer and then had a photograph taken with him?
That's right. Why else would somebody want to get rid of it? Listen, talk to the photo girl's waiter. See if you can come up with anybody that might have been sitting with her.
You got it.
Yeah.
Come.
Excuse me, Mr. Cole.
Sorry, pal, I don't need any male dancers. Besides, macho look is out.
I agree.
And you shouldn't be a dancer.
I'm not. I'm a private detective. My name's Matt Houston.
Oh, yeah. You're the one helping Johnny, huh? Well, believe me, that lush needs all the help he can get.
Well, actually...
Brett. Oh, excuse me. Do you want to see the new hopefuls?
Bring him in. What can I do to help you, Mr. Houston?
Well, I understand that you were with the show in Atlantic City.
Yeah. So what?
Well, it seems that the killing started at the same time the show was in Atlantic City.
Mr. Cole, this is Joyce.
Hello, Joyce. Well, now, you're very pretty, very pretty.
Thank you, Mr. Cole.
I haven't seen you before. You new in town?
Just got in yesterday. I took the bus from Des Moines.
Des Moines, huh? Well, now, that's a very nice state. Tell me, do you have any nude pictures of yourself?
Nude? Oh, I didn't know there was any nudity in the show.
Oh, there isn't. I was just curious. Look, go back to Des Moines, Joyce. Byron, I want this new girl to be beautiful and experienced and to know the score. Dig?
Yes. Come on.
Now, where were we? Oh, yes. I believe you were just about to get to the part where you tell me I'm a suspect.
As a matter of fact, I was. You see, I figure it takes a certain kind of man to kill women, probably the kind that hits them.
Well, now, it's true. I have a temper. And if you don't leave here right now, I'm going to be forced to just throw... Byron! That's the look I want. Do you dance?
Occasionally.
You have the job.
What job?
Aren't you a dancer?
I'm a lawyer.
She works for me.
You do?
I sure do.
Your loss. Think you were just leaving?
Right. Been a pleasure. How'd it go with the photo girl?
Well, she couldn't remember who Christy was sitting with, but she's going to look in her file for the negative. Now, we've heard from the bail bondsman. He's going to have Johnny's ticket by tonight, so we'll be able to get him out from behind bars.
Now all I have to do is figure out a way to keep him from sitting beside one. I'll be right back.
Excuse me. I'm lost.
Well, I'm sorry. I couldn't help you because
Oh. What I could use right now is a drink.
Last thing in the world you need right now, Johnny.
Now, don't rush it. Don't rush it. It's got to be within 10 feet.
Look, I'll tell you what. Why don't you go back to the hotel, and I'll meet you back there later, okay?
Not a chance, Johnny. Where is CJ?
Now!
Gotta get down.
Let's get out of here. Hired you.
It was Foster. Johnny Foster.
Houston, some coffee?
CJ, no thanks. I'm edgy enough as it is.
Well, he's sticking to his story.
Lieutenant, how can you believe that hood in there? I mean, Johnny is not responsible for setting up the hit on me.
Well, what has he got to gain by lying?
Maybe his life.
No, he's protecting somebody. Somebody he's more afraid of than the Las Vegas Police Department. Now, what else did that hood tell you in there?
That he personally spoke to Johnny Foster on the phone. Claims that's how he was hired. And now you know why Johnny Foster's disappeared.
Well, fellas, forgive me for thinking out loud, but this doesn't compute. Why would Johnny have Houston come to Vegas to help him and then try to kill him?
When you're dealing with psychos, Miss Parson, logic goes out the window.
Lieutenant, listen, I don't mean to be offensive, but this conversation reminds me a lot of a hobbled horse. It's not going anywhere. Come on. CJ, we've got to find Johnny in a hurry. I mean, all it's going to take is one wrong move and a trigger-happy cop.
Well, Ted Bear's a friend of his. Maybe he could help.
CJ, is this the only car you could rent?
Well, Houston, you blew the hood off the first one, and you blew everything else off the second one. You're lucky they'd rent you any car at all.
Yeah.
Enter laughing.
Teddy Bear. My name's Matt Houston. This is my associate, C.J. Parsons.
Listen, would you mind standing on your head so we could conduct a normal conversation? Just trying to get a laugh. Woo! Okay, Mr. Houston, why don't you call me Teddy? Just call me Teddy, and you just call me anything, any place, any time. Pretty lady. Oh.
I'm Sheila, Teddy's mother.
Oh, Mom, listen. Mom, try out that new joke on him. This is gold. You're going to love this.
My psychiatrist firmly believes in shock treatment. He sends his bill before each visit.
Ba-dum-bum! I get all the credit, but Mom writes the jokes.
He'd write the jokes himself, but he's grown accustomed to hear the audiences laugh.
See what I mean? He's got a million of them.
Listen, folks, I'm a friend of Johnny Foster's.
He said that. He said that you were his friend. What can I do to help?
I told you to stay away from that no-good drunk. If it weren't for the olives in his martinis, Johnny Foster would have starved to death years ago.
Mama, please! I know Johnny's got his problems, but he's still my friend.
Of course he is, Teddy. And you want to do everything you can do to help. What do you have in mind?
We'd kind of like to find Johnny before the police do.
We thought you might know where his favorite hangouts are.
We can start looking right now. No, come on.
May I use your telephone, please?
Sure. Help yourself. We'll keep you posted.
Ba-dum-bum!
Doris, it's C.J. Parsons. Do you have anything yet? You do? Super. We'll be right down. Houston, that's the hotel photographer. She has some information we might want.
It's about time things started falling into place for us. Listen, C.J., why don't you touch base with Myron back in the big city? Meanwhile, I'll take care of our photographer lady.
Like take her into the dark room and see what develops?
C.J., you know how old that joke is?
Yes, but I also know Matlock Houston's track record with pretty ladies.
Well, if it isn't our nasty dance director.
Maggie, you've got the grace of a porcupine. I suggest you get your act together in one hell of a hurry, or you can pirouette your way down to the unemployment office. As for the rest of you, take 5.
Oh, why don't you go ahead and make it 10, okay?
Isn't it about time you saddled up old paint and got out of town?
Oh, well, I'm way past time. See, I could be back in L.A. right now sipping on a cocktail if you'd do me one small favor.
Name it.
Why don't you go ahead and confess to killing Christy Nathan and the other girls?
Sorry, Hopalong. You're going to have to work for your confession.
You know, I figured you might say that. So why don't we just start at the top with the picture that you stole from Christy's apartment?
Well, now, from multiple murder to petty theft, I really have come down in the world.
Well, not really, no. See, they're one and the same. See, if I'd seen that picture of you and Christy in her apartment, it wouldn't have bothered me a bit. Now, when I noticed that that was missing, There wasn't a whole lot I could do but come up with the conclusion that somebody wanted very badly to get rid of it. Now, there's only one conclusion to come to.
Now, we both know why I took that picture. I was a prime suspect. I got concerned with what cops and judges refer to as a preponderance of evidence.
I see. Yeah, you were going to help them out a little bit, right? Make it easier on them so they wouldn't confuse you with the real killer.
You about finished?
I am for right now.
Well, I'm not.
That really wasn't a very smart thing to do.
Under the circumstances, I tend to agree. Could I have my foot back?
Yes, you may.
Come in. Oh, Mr. Houston. I'm sorry. We scoured this whole town. Nothing. Zip. It's not gonna be the same going on without Johnny. Mom's still so upset she didn't even come in today. She's still at home.
Well, we appreciate you trying, Teddy.
I was sure we could find him somewhere. He's just completely gone underground or...
Or what?
I hate to even mention this, but Johnny tried to do himself in about 2 months ago. Mom and me are the only ones that know.
Teddy, don't you see that just makes it all the more imperative that we find him? Now, can you think of any place you might have missed?
Can't think of a single thing. I'm sorry.
Well, I gotta find him. I gotta find him and clear him.
Well, if there's anything else that I think of, I'll get in touch with you, okay? Good night.
Good night.
Hello?
Mom, you were right. He bought it, the whole story.
Didn't I tell you?
We might have a problem, though.
Oh, what's that?
Houston says he's not going to give up until he finds Johnny.
Well, I guess that means that right after we kill Johnny, we'll have to kill Houston.
Ted. I mean, we're friends. Why me?
Don't blame Teddy. It was all my idea. Who better to frame than an unpredictable drunk who always blacks out?
But I am sorry, Johnny.
Oh, don't be mad at Teddy. He just has this problem with girls. When I realized it recently, I knew I had to go at once for help.
But first, Mama wanted to make sure that the police blamed the murders on somebody else. So you see, it really is much better this way. I just wish it didn't have to be you.
Well, you're gonna get caught. You're not gonna get away with it.
Showtime.
Penny for your thoughts.
Sorry, CJ. You better make that $1, you know, inflation and all. Just thinking about what Ted Bayer said last night.
About Johnny's attempted suicide a few months back?
Suppose it is possible.
Houston, you've exhausted all the theories that there are, except for one.
One that says he is responsible for killing those girls.
You got it.
CJ, I never really ruled it out. I just kind of put it high up on a shelf, hoping I was never going to have to reach for it.
Houston, Listen, people do change. How long has it been since you've seen him?
Phone call, Mr. Houston.
Thank you, ma'am. Houston.
Houston.
Johnny? Where the hell are you?
Never mind. Just listen. I need help.
Well, what kind of help?
The kind where you escort me to the police station and I confess to all the murders.
Johnny, just listen to me.
No. You listen. I'm cold sober. I killed all those girls. It's all come back to me. Every detail. Please, help me, Houston.
Where can I find you?
One pump gas station and general store about 4 miles east of the Strip on Sand Dune Road.
Sand Dune Road? Johnny, you gotta be kidding.
About what?
Well, it's Sand Dune Road. But don't you remember that? I mean, that's the same road my daddy's bar is on that you sang in.
You know, right outside of Tyler. Yeah. Come to think of it, you're right. Hurry, Matlock.
Hey, I'll be there as quick as I can.
You were never in better voice, baby.
I'm telling you, Ted Bear is the killer. Yeah, you know, I should have figured it out when the hitman claimed that Johnny had hired him over the telephone. I should have remembered that Ted Bear does impressions.
At least you remembered when Ted called you impersonating Johnny.
Yeah, well, I knew Johnny couldn't have made that mistake. You see, my father's bar that he sang in, it's not Tyler, Texas, it's in Abilene.
Them, Houston and CJ.
Go for Houston first.
Just as soon as he steps out of the car.
There they are.
Decoy 1, this is Reed.
Go ahead, Lieutenant.
Suspects are northwest of you, Upper Royal Road.
10-4.
Move out fast.
Bring us in right over him now.
They're getting away.
Ted, put the rifle down. We just want to help you.
No, Kitty, wait. Hurry!
Come on, stay right over him. Johnny, your show's going to be closing here pretty quick. Why don't you come down to L.A. and spend some time with a friend?
Oh, I'd like that very much, but I think I'm gonna head on back home and just take things slow and get my act together.
As long as you realize you got a standing invitation.
Thank you.
Johnny, 1 minute.
I'm off. See ya. Bye, darling.
Break a leg.
Hiya. Kiss, kiss. My kingdom for a kiss.
Wait.
Okay.
There you are. I've been looking everywhere for you. Do you realize how many rooms there are in this hotel? Do you realize what kind of trouble you're in? And I'm not talking any small-time penny ante trouble either. I'm talking big-time, big bucks, heartburn, and ulcer kind of trouble.
Whoa, Myron. What seems to be the emergency?
Emergency? Try catastrophe. I just found out that you destroyed 3 rental cars.
Myron, relax. Houston took care of it.
Oh, you did? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I talked to the rental car company. They assured me that their insurance company was going to cover all damage.
Houston, you own the insurance company.
Well, Myron.
Better cock your pistols.
Had a problem with my nose. It never really bothered me. No, I mean, until I got it all together, I was never really comfortable with my ears, you know? But now, like, I'm really comfortable with them, you know? I mean, just really...
Try.
Oh! Oh!
hold you.
Hold us what?
See what? They'll kill you two. The only chance you have, get to Houston. Mac, Houston. Gotta get to Mac, Houston. Yeah, there's a building somewhere about a mile. That way.
Please hurry, CJ. Oh, CJ, please hurry, please.
Houston, I'm doing the best I can. Yes, is Dr. Kibbe there, please? He's in Guatemala?
Oh.
Well, does he have another dentist who can take his call?
I'm trying to reach Dr. Schaefer.
Dr. Baldwin, I know that it's past office hours, but can you tell Dr. McSherry that it's an emergency for my boss?
Oh,
good. Would
what
you
do
please put him
dentists
through,
do
her
on
through?
Fridays anyway? They think nobody gets a toothache on Fridays after 4?
Houston, it's your own fault for canceling all these dental appointments.
I've been busy.
You haven't been that busy, Houston. Why don't you just admit you're afraid of dentists?
I'm not afraid of dentists.
Then why do you keep canceling all your dental appointments? Dr. Morgan?
Give it this to Houston. He's the only one who can stop it now. Tell him, Veer. Fear for
Fear for what?
tomorrow. Fear for tomorrow. Houston must stop, or thousands will die. Thousands. Yeah, there it is. Houston's building.
CJ called Vince, told him we got something going on down the street.
Houston, my dentist is on the way to the office for you.
Mine too.
Ladies, toothache's gone.
Matlock, Houston.
Houston, you must find Houston. Hurry. Smoke.
Hey, what's going on?
That license plate number that you almost got your can knocked off for isn't going to do us any good. The guy's driving it stole it in front of the city central hospital. Just commandeered it right off the street.
So any idea why that car was chasing the other
Lieutenant? Lieutenant, looks like we got an ID on that body in the back seat. The name is Eric
Could I see that for a minute?
Be very careful, Mr. Houston. That is very fragile. You know, that fire was so bad, the coroner told me if that hadn't survived, we might never have made an ID.
Name's Brandt. B-R-A-N-T.
Houston, you knew this Brandt?
He was a friend of mine, Vince. I hadn't seen him for years until just about a week ago.
Well, maybe it does all tie in.
What do you mean?
Well, there were two women in the car. They work at a meatpacking plant and were on their way home when this guy Brandt jumped in. Anyway, during the chase, he says to them, "You have to see Matt Houston or thousands of people are going to die."
Ladies, did he say anything else to you when he gave you the book?
There was so much going on. I mean, those men firing at us, crashing into the building, the fire. Oh, wait, I think I remember something. He said it a couple of times. He said, "Tell Houston to fear." That's right. I remember. Yeah, and then Lila said, "Fear for what?" And he said, "For tomorrow." Tomorrow? Yeah, that's what he said. He said, "Tell Houston to fear for tomorrow."
Well, it makes as much sense as anything else. This is some kind of a code.
Yeah, Vince, it's made up of numbers and letters. There's a couple pages missing out of there, so it's going to be really hard to break.
I'm going to need that for evidence.
Well, can we get it photocopied? I'd like to see if Baby can break it.
We'll make it fast, Houston, because you and I have to talk.
I'll do it right away. Excuse me.
Lieutenant, can we leave now? I'm tired. I'd like to go home.
Well, ladies, what we'd like to do is put you up in a hotel for a couple of days.
Why?
Because the two guys that came after you are willing to kill for that book and the code that is in it. Miss Durant left her purse in the car. The fire department sifted through the ashes and came up with nothing.
Meaning that the killers have it and they might come after me?
Unless we go after them first, you see. With your permission, we'd like to stake out your apartment.
All right.
Houston, fear for tomorrow. Thousands will die unless you stop it. Who are you, Captain Marvel, all of a sudden?
I am just as much in the dark as you are on this thing, Vince.
Houston, I'm not in the dark. I'm down the drain. My captain is screaming. There's car chases. There's gunfights. The dead man is a friend of yours. Houston, who is he?
You know, with Eric, it's a little hard to tell where to start.
Try the beginning.
All right. I met him when I was 18 years old. My grandmother gave me a ticket to Europe for my high school graduation. I bummed around Europe for a couple of months.
You met him there?
Yeah, Eric was German. He kicked around with me for about 4 weeks. He was a fun kind of guy, you know the type. And they were always setting up practical jokes, usually on the teacher, setting up a crap game in the restroom.
Yeah, I know the type.
Yeah.
What's the point?
Well, through the years, I heard that he never really outgrew the practical jokes. He just figured out a way to turn them into making a living.
Such as?
Such as I hear tell that he sold the Eiffel Tower to several different scrap iron dealers, not to mention a few Picassos and Rembrandt.
That Picasso and Rembrandt never painted.
That's right.
Your friend was a swindler, a con man.
Yeah, but he was a world-class swindler, Vance.
Look, he came to see you a couple of days ago, so what?
Yeah, I haven't seen him in years. He told me he was into something big, Vance. He wouldn't tell me what it was, just that it was real ugly, and he wanted to stick with it until he could pull the string on it.
A con man with a conscience. If he wasn't going to tell you anything, why did he come and see you?
Well, Vance, there's a few things he wanted me to take care of in case it went sour, which it did. It's strictly personal, had nothing to do with the case.
If I'm not mistaken, the girl's apartment should be right down the street. You ever think we might be on a wild goose sit?
Yeah, he said thousands would die if I didn't stop something.
The lady said he was dying, he was rambling, he was incoherent. He was having a fantasy.
Why would he tell me to fear for tomorrow?
Maybe he read your horoscope. Maybe his bookie got tired of chasing him. Maybe some guy he stiffed in the past finally got to him.
You always ramble on like this when you've been up all night.
Look, I'm just trying to point out there's a lot of reasons why somebody might want to kill this guy that have nothing to do with a mysterious book and a secret code.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like I said, we're on a wild goose sit.
Maybe not. Vince, the guy who just walked past the window is the same guy who tried to run me down. Great!
Take the side stairs.
Get an ambulance. Hang on. You just hang on. All right? It's gonna be fine, buddy. CJ, he stopped breathing twice.
Houston, he's alive. That's all that counts right now.
But the kids, Mama, his family, somebody's got to tell
The
them.
police force is taking care of that, Houston.
CJ, he is my best friend. I stood there and watched the whole thing, and I felt so damn helpless. I couldn't do anything about it.
Houston, it's going to be all right. It's going to be okay.
It's got to be okay. It's got to be. I have got to find out who's trying to kill all my friends.
Good to see you looking almost normal again.
Any word on Vince?
He's still in surgery, Houston. It looks like he's going to be there a few more hours. And Baby and I have not been able to unscramble the coat in Eric Brandt's book. But I followed up your hunch. I called the coroner's office. Now, the forensic team said that Eric Brandt was wearing hospital white pants when he jumped into the car. Which brings us to where he jumped into the car, which was right in front of City Central Hospital. Now, I also followed up your other hunch, checked out his hospital records, and in fact, he did work there as a kitchen helper.
So a man with 4 Swiss bank accounts, a townhouse in Manhattan, and a villa in the south of France is working as a kitchen helper.
Are you sure he had all his assets?
Now, CJ, when he came to see me, he left all the paperwork for me for safekeeping.
Well, then he is working on some kind of a con, which would explain why the address of the hospital record is a vacant lot. Con that turned ugly before he had a chance to pull the strings.
Before thousands of people will die. I'm a CJ. What the hell is it? And what's it mean?
I don't know. That's that tooth. Why don't you let me call the doctor?
I have no time.
You want to walk around in pain, is that it?
CJ, today is the tomorrow that Eric was warning us about. Vince is in surgery. Eric's dead. I need you to double check the hospital. Find out exactly what Eric's duties were.
Where are you going to be?
I'm going to be doing the last thing that Eric wanted me to do. See, he's got a little girl that goes to a boarding school here in the city. The girl has a grandmother somewhere in Europe. Now, we'll have to find her. And then with your legal expertise, just make sure all Eric's money and property go to the girl. And the most important thing Eric wanted to make sure of is that this little girl didn't find out about him dying from the newspapers or from the police.
It's not fair. It's just not fair.
I know, honey.
And I loved him. I want him back.
Nellie.
I loved him. I never told him enough. But I did. I loved him.
Honey, he knew that.
Are you sure?
Yes. I promise you. He would talk about you all the time, how much you meant to him. You were his whole life, sweetie.
He used to kiss me goodnight and say, "Do you love me?" And I'd say, "I sure do." And he'd say, "How much?" And I'd say, "More than the whole universe." He always liked that.
I bet he did.
Do they know who killed him?
Not yet, sweetie, but I'm trying real hard to find out.
When you do, I hope you kill him and shoot him and kick him and cut him up in little pieces.
Hey, hold it now. Stop. Honey, there's enough killing and violence in this world already. The most important thing for you to do right now is remember how much your daddy loved you. How much you loved him. Please don't destroy that with bad thoughts. If you do, there's nothing left. Promise me that.
I'll try. I promise. I'll try.
Come here.
Come on now, baby. There has to be an answer for this. Yes, thank you. Houston, if you're calling about Vince, I just heard from Mama. She says they expect him to be coming out of surgery soon. He's still hanging on.
Thank you. Listen, CJ, any luck breaking the code?
No luck. I've tried English, French, and German, and nothing's happening.
Yeah. Listen, I had a thought. Now, Eric once told me that he studied Latin for about 3 months to pose as a Catholic priest. Then he found out that they don't use Latin anymore. Anyhow, this case being connected to a hospital and all.
And Latin being the language of medicine. I'll give it a try. Houston, by the way, I found out where Eric Brandt works at City Central. He was, in fact, a kitchen worker. He was assigned to the executive dining room.
Yeah, sure, I knew Eric. I'd like to know where the hell he is today. He's supposed to help me clean this up. Not to mention, today's the day we have to scrub down the kitchen.
Listen, I tell you, if you help me, maybe I can find him and let you know where he is.
What are you? Some kind of cop?
Well, no, I'm a private detective. Listen, I tell you something, partner. I'd sure appreciate your help.
What do you want to know?
Well, for starters, what'd they do around here?
Oh, same thing I do. At least he's supposed to. Come to think of it, that's kind of funny. He's supposed to be a kitchen helper, right? Well, the last couple of weeks, he spent most of his time with the man.
Who's the man?
Him. His Holiness himself. Dr. Elias Baker. That's what this big breakfast was for. Big farewell deal. Dr. Baker and his mercy ship. Leaving today.
Wait, are you sure that they're leaving today?
Yeah, this afternoon. It's a big deal. Taking food and medicine and stuff off to Africa or something. You know what I want to know? When are they going to start worrying about the people in this country?
Listen, I tell you what, you wouldn't happen to know where Eric Brandt lived, would you?
Nah. I never seen him out of this place. I don't like to see nobody from this place out of this place.
Yo, listen, I tell you, what about employee lockers? Did you have one of those?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Follow me. This is his locker right here.
Thank you.
Dr. Baker's resident.
Dr. Elias Baker?
Yes. Who is this, please?
Houston?
CJ, listen, I think I just found out a part of what Eric Brandt was trying to warn us about down here at the hospital. It turns out that he was spending a lot of time with Dr. Elias Baker.
The Dr. Elias Baker with the Mercy ship?
Yeah, the very same. And it turns out the Mercy ship is going to sail today. CJ, tell me, if something were to happen to that,
Well, like Eric said, thousands of people could die. What do you want me to do?
I want you to find out all you can about Dr. Baker and his Mercy ship. Find out what all is on board, right down to the last Band-Aid. Thank you.
Eric Brandt, yes. Yes, of course I know the young man. He works in the kitchen.
I understand that he spent quite a bit of time with him.
Me? Yes, I guess he did.
Dr. Baker's a very open person. When you spend your life living with and trying to feed the starving of the world, you lose your sense of class distinction.
Has Eric done something wrong? Broken the law? Not paid a bill?
Well, I'll tell you, he's gotten himself killed, Doctor.
Oh, my God.
I was hoping maybe that you could help me find out why.
I haven't the faintest idea. I didn't know Eric outside the hospital, you see. Such a bright young man. I love bright young minds. I'm sorry, I just don't know what else to tell you.
Mr. Houston, we do have a ship that has to sail at 4 p.m.
Oh, of course. Listen, I know you're both busy. Thanks for your time. You did say that the ship here is going to sail at 4 p.m., right?
Yes, at 4. Should be quite a do. Television people are expected and all.
Thanks again.
Corey. It's another loose end to be taken care of.
What do you mean?
Houston knows too much.
He knows nothing. I really must insist
He knows Brandt is dead, that it has something to do with you. You saw that man we were talking to?
Yeah, we saw him.
Kill him.
I don't know why I ever got involved with you people.
Because, Doctor, underneath your sanctimonious public image, you're just as greedy, grubby, and venal as the rest of us. Not to mention your unnatural appetite for blondes.
Think we got him?
I don't know, but we better get out of here.
They gave him his last rites. Did you know that?
I know that, Mama. How's he doing now?
He's alive. At least he's still alive. Father Antonio's flying out here to be with his brother Vincenzo. All the way from New York City. He comes. Oh, Houston. I don't know how many more roses I got left in me.
You just keep coming, Mama, all right? It'll work.
Maria Santissima, non me lo lasciare morire, non lo permettere.
Would you look at you? Hey, listen, your boys are doing fine. They don't let kids come up here, you know. Want me to show you this card here?
Get the board, bag him.
Don't let him die.
The monitor's zero. Better hurry. 65/20. Not much time.
I believe he's not breathing.
We'll need more room here. The cart's ready, Doctor. Paddles are prepared and connected if your CPR doesn't take. Come on. Come on. Breathe. Come on.
Sodium glycol.
Orderly's not assigned to duty. Report to emergency. Orderly's not assigned to
Let's get the paddles. Defib. Hit him again.
Houston, you're nuts. You know that?
I know that Eric Brand is dead.
He's nothing but a con man and a swindler. The world's better off without him.
I also know that Vince Novelli is lying in the hospital in intensive care.
Novelli's the best cop who ever worked for me. But if he makes it, and you tell him, I'll deny it.
You're all heart.
So, you want me to go to a judge, get you an order preventing Dr. Elias Baker's mercy ship from sailing. And that's Dr. Elias Baker, one of the saints of the world. And then there's you. I tell you, you're really nuts.
Well, listen, now, Eric told the ladies I was supposed to stop something. Then he said fear. Fear for tomorrow.
Except that it's not fear what it is for, but it's a German, right? It's 1, 2, 3, 4.
I know that. I know, and I didn't figure it out myself till they told me what time the ship was sailing. Now, they told me I was supposed to stop something tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Tomorrow is now today. And what was I supposed to stop?
You're supposed to stop the mercy ship. You gotta stop reading detective stories.
Listen, now, what about the good doctor lying to me, huh?
What? Because you found the doctor's home phone number in Brandt's locker? Come on.
Initials EB. Now, I checked it out. The doctor's close associates and friends are the only ones that call him EB.
Look, I would like to help you out, but let's face it, you don't have anything. You're emotionally involved, so you're grabbing at straws. Go and get me some evidence. Something I can take to a judge when you ask me to stick my neck out.
Houston, I broke the code, and you're right. It was in Latin.
Is there any kind of a motive in all that stuff?
That and a whole lot more. There were a couple of pages torn out of the book, so it was hard to decipher for a while.
There's blood.
Blood and lots of it, Houston. From what I could decipher from the code, about 90,000 units of fresh frozen whole blood.
I'm not following all of this.
Well, Captain, it's an ugly racket. Heard about it before. You see, blood can only be frozen for 3 months before it goes bad. It's not safe for humans. Then it has to be sold for laboratory blood.
You see, laboratory blood is 1/10 the cost of good blood. Now, if somebody tried to sell 90,000 units of laboratory blood for good blood, they're going to make millions of dollars.
This is CJ. Did you find out what's on board the doctor's ship?
Well, besides foodstuffs, medicines, and bandages, he had exactly 90,000 units of fresh frozen whole blood donated by local charities.
So now you want your search warrant, I guess I get to stick my neck out. You driving?
You got it.
Okay.
Some sort of problem, gentlemen?
Dr. Baker?
Yes, indeed.
We got a search warrant here. We want to check your supplies of frozen blood.
Blood? Well, I don't really know. Actually,
Come on!
Hold it right there.
Look behind you, fellas. Tell me something, Doctor. Why'd you do it?
I didn't want to do it. They blackmailed me. I mean, you have to know that through the years I've saved thousands of lives. And some of that blood would have been good. And I would have made up for it, you know.
How do you make up for taking life, huh?
Doctor and humanitarian Dr. Elias Baker has been arrested on murder and conspiracy charges allegedly surrounding a black market ring dealing in the transfer of outdated blood.
What do you drink?
Well, I didn't know this was a social occasion.
It's not, but I figured you might need one.
When I drink, it's bourbon, 2 fingers. Where's Houston? He said this was important.
I'm going to give you 4 fingers of bourbon. At the moment, Houston is in the process of breaking and entering.
I'll take the 4 fingers. Why is it I have this feeling I'm being asked to stick my neck out again?
Well, you see, Houston gave it some thought, and he came to the conclusion that the case isn't closed yet.
Well, why not? We got the doctor, we got his buddies, we got 90,000 units of bad blood. What more does he want?
He wants $6 million, which is the cost of 90,000 units of good blood on the black market.
Good God.
We were so busy patting ourselves on the back because of the arrest of the doctor that we forgot one very important thing.
Where is the good blood? You wouldn't care to tell me where Houston is breaking and entering right now, would you?
Well, I wouldn't tell you even if I knew. But the fact is, he did say that he would call when he knew whether or not he was right or wrong. Cheers. Well, it doesn't, Aha. Houston?
CJ, tell Kerrigan I was right. I found the blood, all 90,000 units of it. I'll make book on it. Sunday is the only day that this place is quiet enough for them to move their shipment.
Position 3 just reported a refrigerated van headed our way.
10-4.
Houston?
I hope that was wrong.
Brandt. He's supposed to be dead.
That's what he wanted us to believe, CJ.
I'll be damned.
That's Lila Durant.
She was the one that was driving the car when Eric jumped in. They staged that whole car chase.
Staged the gunshot? Staged the car crash?
Every bit of it, CJ, just to convince me that Eric was dead. It set me off on that clever trail that led us to Dr. Baker and his friends.
And Lila works here at the meatpacking plant, which is how you knew where to look for the fresh blood. What about the girl who was with her?
Okay, all units, move in.
Tell you, CJ, I believe she was just an innocent pawn that they used to set this whole thing in motion.
What's the connection between Brandt and Dr. Baker?
Well, if I know Eric, he was probably partners with Dr. Baker until he decided to double-cross him and keep all the money to himself. I got him! Use the gun! Why'd you do it, Eric? Well, you didn't have enough money? You always have to lie and cheat people like you've done all along. What was in it for you, huh?
Actually, old boy, excluding Antarctica, there's only 6 continents in the world, and I'm wanted on 5 of them by too many good guys and bad guys.
6 continents, wanted on 5. You're always good at those catchy little phrases. Well, how about this for a catchy little phrase, huh? My best friend is lying in a hospital dying. His mother, his wife, and his 4 children are sitting there waiting. They don't know if he's ever gonna make it. What about your daughter? Why did you put her through that?
Houston, I had to. I told you, too many people are after me. I knew I could trust you to look after her.
You used me, just like you've used everybody all your life. Whose body was it in the burning car? Some Skid Row bum?
Matt, look, we used to be friends. Laugh together.
Nobody's laughing anymore.
Houston, do you think it was smart of me trying to steal home from second base in the 4th inning?
Well, sure, Tony. I mean, we were only down 27-18 at the time.
You know, when my dad gets out of the hospital, he'll probably want his manager's job back. I hope you don't mind.
No. Well, maybe he'll let me coach third base, huh? Come on.
Hi, CJ.
Hey, how did T-Ball's answer to Tommy Lasorda make out?
Oh. Well, just fine, CJ. We pulled it out in the last inning, 35-34.
Tony, there's some soda and crackers in my office. Why don't you go help yourself? Houston, before we go any further, I'd like to introduce you to the latest addition of Houston Industries family, Susan Rogers.
Well, Susan, nice to have you in the family.
Why, thank you, Mr. Houston. You know, you have a lovely smile.
Well, thank you.
Susan's an expert in smiles, Houston.
Well, she ought to be. She's got a pretty enough one herself.
Well, it's not quite what you think. You see, Dr. Susan Rogers knows a lot about teeth because,
Because of what?
Because I pull them out.
Oh.
By the looks of that bicuspid.
Look.
Oh, Mr. Houston, you've hired me none too soon.
Better cock your pistols.
the spooks of it, Miss Cindy.
Hey! Can't you read?
Well, yeah, I can read. Listen, I'm just coming over here to see Mr.
Well, this is a close workout. Only Mr. Fowler's personnel are permitted on the track. I don't believe I've ever seen you working for us. Mr. Houston?
No, I've never worked for you. Listen, how did you know my name?
Mace. It's all right. He's with me.
Call ahead next time.
Hi, Houston.
Hey, Win.
Thanks for coming. I really need your help.
It's a pleasure. Listen, I tell you, your security man there, I believe he's got a burr in a bad spot.
He wouldn't win any personality contest, no.
How can I help you, Win?
The young lady you so generously directed to me 4 years ago?
You mean Cindy?
After turning a sow's ear into a silk purse, she's dumping me.
Well, how come?
Moving to England, giving up quarter horses, joining Lord Wellesley's stable.
It must be quite a blow. I mean, she's the best jockey you've got.
A blow? Do you have any idea what the value of a good female jockey is? Everybody wants her. She really brings in the people.
She is a crowd pleaser.
You got to talk to her, Houston. Everybody knows how she feels about you. She's in love with you.
Well, I think maybe she's just got love and gratitude all mixed up, Win, but I tell you what, I'll have a chat with her.
Much obliged.
That's right, Cindy.
Houston! This is quite a surprise. I think I'll steal another kiss.
Well, Cindy, I need to talk to you.
Hey, if it's about my move to England, forget it. My mind's made up.
Well, I'd like to have a chance to try and change it.
I'll tell you what. Our workout will be over soon. Meet me back at Fowler's Farm, and I'll let you try.
Sounds like a plan. Excuse me, listen.
All right, Houston, hold it right there. No sudden moves.
It's Miss Cindy. He's killed her.
Fellas, this is not what you think. Now, Cindy told me to meet her out here. Now, Vince, this is ridiculous. Why would I kill Cindy Gaines?
I never said you killed her.
Then what are we doing here? Playing some kind of game?
You're here, Mr. Houston, because you were observed by two individuals standing over a murder victim with the murder weapon in your hands.
Captain Kerrigan, I told you I went to meet Cindy. She wasn't there, so
So you went to look for her. You know, I'm going to grow an ulcer listening to this alibi of yours.
Come on, Kerrigan, ease up. I've known Houston since he moved to California. Murder's not his style.
Is that a fact? Listen to me carefully, Lieutenant. As far as you're concerned, my name is Captain Kerrigan. I not only outrank you, I have managed to keep my objectivity in this matter. Security officer Victor Macy states that you attempted to dissuade the dead girl from moving to England, that she had other ideas.
It's hardly a motive for murder, Captain. Sir.
Novelli, go upstairs and find something constructive to do.
Is that an order, sir?
Listen, Vince, why don't you just settle down? I'll be just fine, okay?
Yeah, well, I won't be fine. I'm telling you, Houston is not a killer.
It's not what this report says. There are only one set of fingerprints on the pitchfork, and two eyewitnesses said he had it in his hands.
Houston did not kill that girl, and I'm going to prove it.
Novelli, you're wrong, because as of this moment, you are no longer involved in this case.
Yeah, well, maybe not as a member of the police department, but if I have to, as a private citizen.
You just hold on. You put this back where it belongs and take a little walk and calm down, all right?
Friends like that are hard to find.
Yes, they are. Appreciate it if you go easy on him.
As far as I'm concerned, Novelli was never here.
Thank you, sir.
Captain Kerrigan? Right. You're free to go, Mr. Houston. You've been bailed out.
Well, that was quick. I just talked to CJ about 10 minutes ago.
Taxi.
Who bailed me out of jail tonight?
Well, I called the bail bondsman, and he didn't know.
What do you mean he didn't know?
Well, whoever bailed you out and left the instructions did so anonymously.
Well, CJ, somebody out there does not like me, and I think we better find out who it is before we go any further. See what Baby has to say.
All right.
So you want a drink?
Love it. First of all, we have the deceased, Cindy Gaines, used to live in Bakersfield. At the age of 17, she left home to do the rodeo circuit. Enter Matt Houston.
Yeah. You know, CJ, I met Cindy at a rodeo in Fresno. Well, you talk about Bronc-busters. This lady makes some of the male cowpunchers look like greenhorns.
But she wanted to be a jockey, so he introduced her to this chap, Winston Fowler. He finds them, he trains them, and he manages them.
Best in the business.
But he has a little problem. It's called gambling fever.
Was it serious?
Intensive care time.
Well, that's hardly a motive for murder.
Well, it is if your best jockey wants to breach your contract and run off to England. Now, Midge Moran, he was obviously in love with the deceased, but she was only sweet to him because she felt sorry for him.
Well, CJ, we can hardly consider him a suspect. I mean, the boy's a little slow, but he's gentle as a lamb.
Tilt.
Did I say something wrong?
Houston, he has a police record. He's assaulted 2 women on 2 separate occasions.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. I checked it out.
You know, I've seen him before. He was with Macy when I got caught with blood-stained pitchfork in my hand.
His name is Newt.
Newt? Does he have a last name?
Well, if he does, nobody knows what it is. He went to work for Fowler about a year ago, and because he grooms horses, they call him Newt the Groom.
That makes sense. What's he got to do with Cindy's death?
Well, apparently he has a penchant for young girls. As a matter of fact, the younger the better.
Young as in Cindy Gaines young?
Roger. As a matter of fact, word has it he tried to make a few passes at Cindy.
Yeah, and she wasn't catching.
Another Roger.
Yeah, it's rejection, CJ. I tell you, some men don't deal with rejection well. Makes them violent. Maybe even violent enough to kill. I tell you what, you better keep scratching, see what you can come up with on this fella's last name and his background. Well, Victor Macy, now what has he got to do with this?
Well, he was with the Bakersfield Police Department for 12 years.
CJ, anytime a cop spends that amount of time on the force, he usually would want to stick around till he retires so he can collect his 20-year pension. Find out why he left the force or why the force left him.
That won't be necessary.
I'm sorry, Mr. Houston. We tried.
Thank you, ladies. I'm sure you did your best.
I left the police force for personal reasons, none of which are any business of yours.
Maybe when this is all over, I probably should teach you some manners, Mr. Macy.
You're a blunt man, Mr. Houston. But I have something that's a little more blunt for you. You killed Cindy, and I want you to know that I am going to do everything in my power to make sure that you pay the maximum sentence under California law, the gas chamber.
Well, now, I appreciate you taking all the time and effort to map out my fun-filled future for me, but there's only one problem. I am not guilty.
Oh, you're guilty, all right.
So what do I have to tell you to make you believe that I did not kill Cindy?
You killed her. Long before you ever put that pitchfork in her back, you killed her. She was a good kid before you met her 4 years ago and gave her all those dreams of grandeur. You told her she was going to be some kind of a champion jockey.
How do you know all this?
Well, she was a good girl. She had a boyfriend. He was going to become a veterinarian. They had a fight, and she ran away. But it wouldn't have been like it was with her sister. Cindy would have come back. Everything would have been all right. She'd be happily married by now. I'd be a grandfather.
You're her father?
And you had to come along. You killed her, you and your fancy dreams, Mr. Houston. First time was 4 years ago. This time I can prove it. Did you know that my daughter kept a diary? She even forecast her own murder and her own murderer. Would you like to make a bet as to who she named?
Vince, I know you want to help, but you got a family and a career to think about.
Family? He's too busy saving the world to think of family.
What? Houston, I got some hot info from Steno down at the precinct. She said that security guy, Macy, he turned over the dead girl's diary to Captain Kerrigan.
Well, did he also tell Kerrigan that he just happens to be Cindy's father?
Yeah, he said that diary's gonna send you to Never Never Land. Mom, what's the matter? What's the matter?
See, what's the matter? You don't know and you don't care. Poveretta, poor woman, how she cried her eyes out for you when you were sick.
What poor woman?
Aunt Juliana, that's who, Poveretta. You really want to know?
Oh, Aunt Juliana. What's the matter with Aunt Juliana?
Nothing anymore. She's dead now.
Oh, no, Aunt Juliana. Mama, I don't...
No, come. You were always her favorite. Oh, mio Dio, the Poveretta, she's dead, and you can't even care enough to remember. Ah, disgraziato, t'ha voluto tanto bene, te la sei già scordata.
Vince, I'm sorry to hear about your aunt.
Thanks, Houston. What am I talking about? I don't even know who Aunt Juliana is.
Listen, Vince, now, does Kerrigan know for sure that that's Cindy's diary?
Not yet, but he's brought in some handwriting experts. The best.
The diary's not your only problem. That steno said that they found some items in Cindy's apartment. Men's items. Shirts, handkerchiefs, a belt buckle.
So?
So, they all have your monogram on them.
Vince, that's impossible. I've never been in that girl's apartment before in my life. Now, the killer must have planted those things.
Mama, please, talk to me.
Good idea. If I talk to you enough, maybe you'll remember me when I'm dead.
Mom, I just,
Cleveland.
I can't...
She lived in Cleveland, the big blue house.
Cleveland.
Oh, Poverina, how she held you in her arms, how she rocked you, Poverina.
Mom, I haven't been in Cleveland since I was 4.
So? Is that any reason to forget a person?
Look, the point is, Kerrigan is building a really strong case against you. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he revoked your bail soon.
I'm counting on it. Mrs. Novelli, food was excellent.
Grazie.
What's he doing here?
I'm not sure, CJ. But I can guarantee it's got nothing to do with a sudden urge for pepperoni pizza. Listen, did you find out where Midge is?
Yes, I checked the ranch at the cemetery. This is the address. We got a call from Win Fowler. He wants us to meet him at his place at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
CJ, I'll meet you there as soon as I talk to Midge.
Midge? Hi, Mr. Houston. This is where they're gonna bury Cindy. It's beautiful, isn't it? Hope she likes it.
It's a real pretty spot, Midge. Listen, you know that they've charged me with Cindy's murder.
Yes, but I know you didn't do it.
Thank you. You know, that's the first sensible thing I've heard all day long.
You're not the type to push women around, especially someone as wonderful as Cindy.
Really loved her, didn't you? You know anybody who didn't love her? Somebody that might want to hurt her, maybe even kill her. So I'm sorry, that's a stupid question for this point in time.
I'm gonna miss her. I mean, I always knew that I was never really gonna have her. I mean, I know I'm really nothing much. I always knew that she'd end up marrying someone that had a lot of money and fancy cars. I better go.
You all right?
Yes.
Stay put. was good timing. Come up with any goodies for me?
Well, I do have a couple of goodies, depending on who you talk to last.
Well, the last person I talked to was Captain Kerrigan. I really didn't talk to him. I just complained. See, somebody took a shot at either me or Midge and ran out of the cemetery.
It's probably how they get their customers.
Yeah, I tried that joke on Captain Kerrigan. He didn't think it was funny either.
Well, now hold on to your stirrups. Remember Newt, the groom who discovered Cindy's body along with Macy? He doesn't exist.
What do you mean, doesn't it? The man has to exist, CJ.
Not according to the best computers in America. He doesn't have a social security, a driver's license, an ID number, nothing.
Well, maybe you spelled his name wrong.
How difficult could it be to spell John Jones?
John, that's Newt's real name?
Supposedly, but not if he doesn't exist.
Why do I get the impression that we're playing a version of Who's On First here? CJ, let's just change the subject. Now, did you come up with anything helpful?
Well, I found out that Cindy's sister is named Lori.
Lori. You know, I'd almost forgotten about her until Macy mentioned her in the office the other day. Now, Lori is Cindy's twin sister. If I'm not mistaken, she left home just a year before Cindy did.
Yeah, she's been working as a waitress in Bakersfield up until 2 weeks ago when she disappeared.
Did she disappear mysteriously or normally?
Well, I don't have any information on that, so it's still a mystery.
Yeah, well, what else did you fail to discover?
Why Win Fowler wanted us to meet him out here.
Mr. Fowler will be here in a few minutes. Oh, by the way, I want to thank you for observing the security rules this time and phoning ahead.
I try to be a law-abiding citizen.
Except when it comes to murder.
Did it ever occur to you that it just might possibly be somebody else that murdered your daughter?
You're gonna pay the price, Houston. You will die. Whether the law does it to you or I do it.
Do something!
Some writing.
Yeah, well, at least all those Annie Oakley movies paid off. You all right?
Yeah, I'm great. Just great. CJ, next time I get on a horse, remind me to be in the saddle before it takes off, huh? Any luck on finding a witness?
Well, no one claims to have seen anyone throw the rope or release the horse.
Great. Any luck on finding Win Fowler?
Better than that, he just walked in a few minutes ago saying he was sorry he missed us at the track. He said he had car trouble.
That's convenient. Listen, what else you come up with?
Lots. Victor Macy, the dead girl's father, lied to us. He did not resign from the Bakersfield Police Department.
Booted out?
You got it. Why, I don't know.
It'd be interesting to find out.
Yes, it would. Of course, you know that Macy isn't responsible for your being roped to that freaked-out horse. He was standing there with us today when it happened.
Yes, but an accomplice could have.
An accomplice?
Yeah, see, CJ, there were two separate drivers and two separate vehicles tried to cancel my ticket when I got bailed out of jail. That tells me there was an accomplice with the killer. Now, what else you come up with?
Well, only that Cindy was heavily into psychoanalysis. Her psychiatrist's name is Dr. Harry Kinderly.
Well, that's interesting. How'd you find that out?
Well, I did what you said and checked into the medical insurance records.
Well, CJ, usually that's kind of hard to do. I'd like to look at the doctor's file, but they don't like that. I mean, privileged information and all.
Well, Dr. Kinderly may not let us see his files, but I don't think he'd have any objection to having lunch with an old friend.
Yeah. You know this Dr. Kinderly, huh?
Houston, I knew Harry when we used to call him Fuzzy. Now, should we go see Mr. Fowler?
Yeah. Wait, CJ, Fuzzy?
Fuzzy.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, Houston, sorry about your mishap. If I'd been on time, well, I guess CJ told you I had car trouble.
Yeah, she did, Win. Listen, what exactly is he want to talk to me about?
I think I know who killed Cindy. I think it was Newton.
Newt, your groom?
Yeah, the same.
When? Have you got any proof of this?
What you lawyers would call hearsay. 2 or 3 days ago, I heard Cindy screaming at Newt. She said she was going to have him fired for stealing money from her.
Win, it's a good try, but as a legal eagle, I can tell you right now that there's no judge in the world who's going to issue a warrant based on that kind of evidence.
Well, nevertheless, maybe it's about time we had a little powwow with Newt. Win, this is a little tough for me, but I need to ask you some things, and I wondered if...
That's all right, Houston. You go ahead, ask me anything you want.
I like your attitude. Listen, now, Cindy was going to take off, go to England on you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that gave you a pretty good motive for murder.
No question about it. But me kill Cindy? Would I be so stupid as to call in the best investigator going, not to mention a longtime friend? Hmm?
Excuse me. Hello.
Houston, Vince. I'm afraid I've got some news you're not gonna like. You better meet me at Mama's.
Vince, I'll be there in 5 minutes, all right?
Yeah, I'll see you.
Win, listen, we've got to run. Thanks for coming by and giving me the information. Could you find your own way out?
Oh, sure.
When are we going to talk to Newt?
Oh, the man that doesn't exist. Well, later. We'll just have to set up a non-existent meeting for a non-existent person.
What?
Yeah, you had to be there.
Lascia stare. Go inside and sit. I'll bring plenty of food.
Thanks, Mama. Because when CJ and Houston get here, I'm going to be too busy talking to eat.
Sure. Never time to eat. Just talk, talk, talk. Oh, did you at least find time to send flowers to your Aunt Juliana's funeral?
Yeah, I sent the flowers, Mama.
Oh. So what kind of flowers did you send?
I told the florist to pick something appropriate.
You mean you didn't pick them out yourself? Ma come? Aunt Juliana is dead, and you don't even care enough to take a few minutes, 2 minuti in fin dei conti, to personally select the arrangement. Vergognati.
Somebody died?
Yeah, Vince's aunt.
Cut down in her prime.
Well, that's terrible. How old was she?
93. Lilies. I bet they chose lilies.
Yeah, lilies. How did you know?
Aunt Juliana hated lilies. They gave her hives.
Mama, what?
Just sit down now, please. Tell me what you got.
Unemployment if Captain Kerrigan catches me consorting with the enemy, and I owe 2 free lunches to the steno down at the precinct. All right, first of all, the autopsy. Cindy died of multiple stab wounds, pitchfork.
Oh, that's obvious, Vince. What else?
Yeah, well, now comes the bad part. The handwriting experts.
Don't tell me. Both of them proved that it was Cindy's handwriting in the diary.
It gets worse. She said in her diary that you were going to kill her first and CJ second.
How could you, Houston?
I couldn't, CJ. Vince, what else?
After all that, you want more?
Well, Vince, I mean, obviously the girl has got a very vivid imagination. Now, those entries in the diary simply aren't true.
Vincenzo, telephone.
Excuse me.
I just hope your flowers got there in time.
Sure they did, Mama. I told the florist to be sure they get to Cleveland by noon today.
Cleveland? Aunt Juliana moved to Baltimore 3 years ago. Oh, che pasticcio, che combinata. Vai.
Yeah, Novelli. Yeah, hi, Barbara. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I owe you 3 lunches. More bad news. Houston's bail has been revoked thanks to those handwriting experts and the threat to kill you.
Houston's going back to jail?
I hate to lay that on him when he comes back out.
I hate to lay this on you, Vince, but he's not coming out.
He's not in the bathroom?
Novelli, I gave Houston a little legal advice. He's gone underground.
Well, what did he say before he left?
Bye.
was wondering if you'd come.
As soon as CJ put on that Houston went underground routine.
Well, I had to cover you, Vance. I mean, there was no telling if Kerrigan had one of his spies at Mama's. Listen, I just talked to an old friend from Bakersfield. Turns out that Macy is, in fact, Cindy and Lori's real father. Now, he got a divorce when the kids were real young, but he stayed close to them. He was very devoted. I think that's what eventually led to him getting booted off the police force.
Because he loved his kids?
Well, actually, say his ex-wife got remarried to a real creep. Macy found out this fellow was abusing the kids, the ones he loved so much. Macy killed him with his bare hands.
Manslaughter. Automatic hard time.
Yeah, 5 years, and when he got out, Cindy helped him get the security job with Fowler. Vince, I tell you, well, I just can't help but feel sorry for him.
No wonder he hates so much. Houston, I gotta take you in.
You gotta be kidding me, Vince. You know that there's something I've got to do. You know that.
Houston, I'm a cop.
You're a friend.
I took an oath.
I know that.
To uphold the law.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Only thing I can do.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now you're gonna tell me what you're gonna do?
Now I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do, Vance. First, I've got to find out who killed Cindy. Then I've got to find out if I'm in some way responsible for it. Make yourself at home, friend.
Kerrigan was right. She led us right to him. Dispatch, this is 1 Adam 22. Patch me through to Captain Kerrigan.
Hi there.
Oh, CJ. You know, I think Midge was right. This is a real pretty spot. I bet Cindy would have really loved it. Listen, did you come up with anything from Cindy's doctor?
Well, I found out that Fuzzy loves to eat and he loves to talk. And he informed me that Cindy had a compulsive obsessive neuroses, form of schizophrenia. Now, she could function normally in society, but when she's alone, she lives in a fantasy world all her own.
So I was right. All those things she wrote about me in the diary were all make-believe.
They were make-believe to us. To her, they were perfectly real.
Well, those records are going to get me off the hook, CJ. All I have to do now is find a real killer.
You have a prime suspect?
Yeah, Midge Moran. CJ, he said something to me out here yesterday that bothered me. He said, Houston, I know you didn't kill Cindy because you're not the type that pushes women around. He didn't say anything about a pitchfork. He said push.
But Houston, Midge has a history of hitting women, twice, in fact. So I don't know how that translates to pitchfork.
Well, it doesn't, CJ, and not directly. Now, I talked to Novelli on the phone. He told me what the coroner's report said. Now, Cindy definitely died of multiple stab wounds. That's pitchfork. But what they discovered was a small, fresh wound on the back of the head.
Well, now I know where you're going. By the way, I found Cindy's sister. She's 80 miles away in Bakersfield.
That's perfect, CJ. I've got something. I get the feeling you were followed here.
How come?
Watch this.
Hold it, please!
Houston. Mr. Fowler's gone into town to do some errands if you're looking for him.
Well, I'm not really looking for Mr. Fowler.
And what are you doing here?
Well, I was looking for you, Midge.
Me?
Tell me something. You still believe that I'm not responsible for Cindy's death, right?
Sure.
Maybe you could help me out. I tell you what, how'd you like to help me catch the real killer?
I don't know. What do I have to do?
Well, I tell you, it's real easy, Midge. Listen, just follow me and I'll explain it all to you, all right? Now, trust me, Midge, all I need you to do is run over to that stall there. Now, you just hide there and wait. Now, when I call you, I want you to come running out, all right?
Is that all I have to do?
Well, I told you it was real simple.
That's the stall where they found Cindy's, found her body. I haven't been in there since.
So, Midge, you said you wanted to help me. Help Cindy.
No, it can't be.
Hello, Midge.
Cindy spoke to you, Midge. Aren't you going to say something? It's the girl you love.
No, it can't be Cindy. Cindy's dead.
You killed me. Or at least you thought you did.
I know I did. I pushed you. You fell back. You hit your head on that iron piping.
But I wasn't dead.
Yes, you were. You were. Fowler even said so.
Wait a minute, Fowler. What else did Fowler say?
He said for me to get out of there. But he was going to fix it so it looked like somebody else killed her.
So you ran away. And it was Fowler that came in and put the pitchfork in Cindy's back.
Cindy, I didn't mean to hurt you. I just wanted you to take me to England with you so I could be near you. And I didn't mean to hurt you with the car or to rope you with that horse. Fowler made me. He said he'd call the police and tell them I killed Cindy if I didn't do like he told me.
What else, Midge?
I don't know. I don't understand. How can Cindy be here
Midge,
if I...
Cindy is dead. This is Lori, Cindy's twin sister. We brought her here. Now, you pushed her. But you didn't kill her. After you ran away, Fowler came in and put that pitchfork in her back.
Why would Fowler kill my Cindy? Why?
I don't know, Midge. We're gonna find out.
This is Mr. Fowler's house, but it's off limits to us employees.
It was off limits. I got enough probable cause to go in without a warrant.
Altar to worship her by, Vance. Little Cindy Gaines. Bakersfield, California. She had something that drove men crazy.
So two guys loved her. Why did Fowler kill her?
He wanted to frame me, Vance. He was in love with Cindy. He thought Cindy loved me. Now that I look back on it, she used to flaunt it in front of him all the time. How he must have hated me.
You didn't know he loved her?
I never even had a notion, CJ. Where is Midge?
Where's Mr. Fowler? I gotta see that man.
What about Mitchie?
He killed my Cindy, and I'm gonna kill him.
Hold up, Midge, would you? Now, you just stay out of this and let me handle Win Fowler.
Sorry to disagree, Houston. Nobody's gonna handle Win Fowler.
You killed my Cindy! Hold it!
It's nothing but a waste of human life, Win. If I was your friend, maybe I could have helped you. But you didn't even ask me.
You have the right to remain silent, the right to an attorney. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Mama, thank you for staying open.
Prego, è sempre un piacere per te, Houston.
Houston, I can't decide whether to be angry at Cindy's father or feel sorry for him.
CJ lost everything he had, at least as far as Cindy is concerned. Did you see the expression on his face when it was all over and he was hugging Lori?
There's a lot of love there.
Yeah, certainly. Well, listen, there's one loose end we never did clear up, and that's that Newt fella. Did we ever find out, is he a real person?
Oh, he's a real person. The computer had a problem because he kept changing his name.
For criminal reasons?
Alimony reasons. Newt has 5 former wives who are in hot pursuit at all times.
Oh, remember me? Your mama, Rosa?
Obviously, Mama's still mad at you, Novelli.
Oh, well,
thank you.
Mama, listen, I want you to hear this. It came in the mail today. Dear Vincenzo, I want to thank you for the beautiful flowers you sent to my mother's funeral.
They got them. Oh. Who's writing? Who's writing?
Her son, Cousin Anthony.
Ah, now he's a good boy.
Yeah, the flowers were forwarded to us from Cleveland. And I must say we were most touched to receive them.
See? How they appreciate?
It's comforting to know that Aunt Juliana was remembered even after so many years. How long has it been? 30 years more, and still you're so thoughtful. Thank you, your Cousin Anthony. P.S. Say thank you to your wonderful mother, Carmela.
Carmela? My name's Rosa. Oh, the younger generation. Il nome di una zia non se lo ricordano. Ah, I ragazzi d'oggi.
Vince, why'd you tell her that? Her name's on there, Mama Rosa.
I know. Couldn't resist.
That's cruel. It's funny, but it's cruel.
cock your pistols.
No more autographs today, thank you. America's favorite mystery novelist needs a nap. For her inspiration. Besides, I'm going to want to look my best for that handsome Mr. Houston. Now there's a man I wouldn't mind sharing my clues with.
Hey, hi, how you doing?
Can't you read? Go away! If you've got the gall to knock, you better have the sense to duck. Oh, it's you. If you've come here to discuss what I think you have, forget it. Turn that damn thing down! You're breaking my eardrums! What are you doing now? Oh, no. Let's talk, please. Please, please.
I've done my part. Now you do yours. In exactly 12 minutes.
Mr. Slocum!
Hello, Jerry.
Evening, Mr. Slocum. Slocum, have you read my manuscript yet?
Well, I haven't, but I'm going to. Thank you for coming over.
Still out for cocktails?
You bet.
Operator, this is Wayne Slocum. I'd like to place a long-distance person-to-person call to Los Angeles. Mr. Matt Houston.
Imagine me, a household name.
Mama's already a household name.
And the face too. And the face too, right, Myra?
The face, your smile there on the cover of the carton, surrounded by such delicacies as veal scallopini, saltimbocca romano, ravioli, spaghetti, fettuccine, linguine, mastaccioli, rigatoni, meatball, sausage, pizza, managote, eggplant, parmesan, lasagna, gnocchi, spumoni, antipasto, chicken cacciatore.
Here are your notes for the speech.
Oh, well, thank you. Listen, next time I agree to give a speech to mystery writers, do me a favor, would you? Talk me out of it.
Just like I tried to take Myron and Mama out of this crazy idea.
Crazy, it's not crazy, it's fabulous, it's a real moneymaker. I'm telling you, all we need is a little development money, and before you know it, this woman's face is going to be staring out of every grocery store frozen section in the country, and every freezer of every home, cooking to mouth-watering perfection in millions of ovens every night.
Imagine me cooking in millions of ovens every night.
Now, hold it, folks. Listen, I have to think about this a little bit. I really haven't considered going into the business.
Look, Houston, just think about it. And after you
Mr.
think about that,
Houston, Wayne Slocum on the line for you.
Oh, thank you.
Look, Houston, think about it. Then think about this. Mama's line of Italian food could just be the beginning. We could start up all kinds of frozen food lines. We could do Chinese, Mexican, Moroccan, German, Swiss, Irish, English.
Wait! I'm just double-checking to make sure you're coming down tonight. I know how busy you can get up there.
Oh, of course. Listen, I was just talking to everybody here about how excited I am to talk to your writers.
Terrific. About what time do you think you'll get here?
Well, about 6 o'clock.
Good.
Wayne, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
You sound an awful lot like gunshots.
It did sound like gunshots. Hold on a minute, Houston.
Mr. Slocum! It's Emily! She's been shot. She's dead.
Houston, Emily Armour's been murdered.
Hey, good to see you, Wayne.
Likewise. If ever a friend needed a friend.
Well, you know the old saying, a friend is the best gift to give yourself. Now, listen, I read your latest Dun and Bradstreet. Sounds like you being the #1 mystery novel publisher is treating you pretty well.
Well, I was blessed. By the way, where's Miss Parsons?
Oh, she got tied up in a court case. She's going to drive down a little later. So whatever happened? That's Courtney Garner. Yeah. She's got a couple books on the bestseller list this month.
Yes, that's Courtney, all right. But I wouldn't hold her as a viable suspect.
Wasn't she being sued by the dead woman for plagiarism? $30 million worth?
No, that's just a nuisance suit. Emily and Courtney got along very well until Emily decided that Courtney had stolen her concept on that new bestseller.
Well, I beg to differ with you on that. I mean, 30 million's a good motive for murder, even for Courtney Garner.
Well, I suppose you're right. We can't rule anybody out. But of all the people in this room here, I'd say that those three were the ones closest to Emily.
Guess we just better focus on those three for right now.
I wonder if you two would excuse me for the rest of the evening. I've got a ton of long-distance phone calls to make. And Emily's murder has just created havoc with the publishing of her next novel.
Sir.
Houston? Miss Parsons? It's a pleasure to have you here. Good night.
You hungry?
I'm wrung out. Do you mind if I abandon ship?
No, why don't you go on? I just gotta figure something out.
Such as?
Well, why anybody with premeditation would want to kill Emily Armour with a very loud gun a few hundred feet away from a crowded swimming pool? Yeah, I better do some moseying around.
Well, you do that. Happy hunting. For me in the bungalow when I got back.
Who was in your room?
I don't know. He had a chokehold on me. He said if we didn't get off this case, we were going to be like Emily Armour, dead.
Don't worry about it, CJ. I'm gonna find him, and I'm gonna nail him 6 ways from Sunday.
They told me I'd find you out here. My name's Matt Houston.
I know. You're Houston. The Private Fuzz. And she's your,
Yeah, a business associate and lawyer.
Any way you want it.
Yeah, well, the way I want it is the way it is.
Listen, we thought you might know who would have wanted to kill Emily Armour.
She had enemies like everyone else.
Like, Courtney Garner, who was suing her for $30 million.
That lawsuit was for publicity. That's what Emily was best at.
$30 million is an awful lot of publicity. It's also a lot of motive for murder.
You want motives? Check Nick Harrigan. Emily and Nick had a real go-around the other night. He's a tough ex-cop, and he loves to get physical.
Well, does Harrigan ever get physical with Emily?
Would have, except I was there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Hey, you're an ex-boxer. Yeah, I heard something about that. Yeah, you dropped out of sight for 5 years, and then, well, what do you know? You turn up now working for a lady author. Quite a leap.
Yeah? So?
Well, that just seems a little curious for somebody to drop out of sight for 5 years. You know, a little odd, unless maybe they joined the army or went to prison.
Maybe I wrote poetry.
Yeah, well, it just seems like a long way to go from heavyweight contender to Emily Armour's gopher.
Gopher? I was her secretary, which means I was her research assistant and story editor.
Any way you want it. Listen, friend, with or without your help, I'm going to find out what you've been up to for the past 5 years. And who knows, I may find out an awful lot.
Let's go.
CJ, I want you to get a hold of Myron and have him find out all he can about Miss Armour's secretary.
As long as we don't have to question him in this thing, I don't think it carries a first aid kit.
All right, yes, I killed her. I had to. She was gonna ruin me. She was a horrible woman. No, no, God, put that gun away. No. God, no,
You actually threw a chair through my window.
Yes, I did. It sounded like you were in trouble from out there, and
Oh, desperate trouble. This book is due in a week, and I've only killed off my third victim. By the way, who are you?
I'm sorry. My name's Matt Houston.
Oh, yes, you were supposed to be our guest speaker before Emily went to that big rewrite in the sky.
That's right. I'm trying to figure out who sent her there.
Oh, then this must be the chapter where the handsome detective grills all his prime suspects.
Well, since you're the one that writes all the mystery novels, I'm sure you know all about the questions I'm about to ask you.
Yes, I probably know all the answers, too. Let's see. Do I have an alibi? No. Do I have a motive? Yes. Did I kill Emily? No.
Well, if you don't have an alibi and you admit to having a motive, now what's going to prevent me from thinking that you're the killer?
Couldn't we just skip the obvious and get to the part where the sensuous suspect and the famous detective fall desperately in love?
Well, I don't think that, I think I've met this flashlight before. You see this?
It's dented.
Yeah, and so's my head. Somebody slugged me with one that looked an awful lot like this last night.
What, you think I did it?
Well, this is your room, isn't it?
I don't deny that. What I do deny is knowing how that flashlight got in it.
Why do I get the feeling that this is the chapter where the sensuous suspect starts lying to the famous detective?
Because she is.
Mm-hmm.
That flashlight appeared here early this morning when her gentleman caller departed.
Does gentleman have a name?
Of course he does. I'm not going to tell you.
Miss Garner, I don't believe you understand. Now, whoever slugged me with this flashlight could very well be a killer. Now, would you please tell me who it is?
This conversation's over, Mr. Houston. I'm not going to tell you anything more.
Well, now, maybe you don't have to. But you look at here. Nick Harrigan.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Well, leaving town so soon, Harrigan?
Who are you?
My name's Matt Houston.
Oh, yeah, the hotshot private eye from Megabuck City.
Listen, you leaving town right now, people might think you're running. Running because you killed Emily Armour.
I don't give a damn what anybody thinks, you included.
Well, Sheriff Keeler wants everybody to stay in town for at least 36 hours.
Well, I don't take orders.
Yeah, I know. That's why you got kicked off the force. Well, look at this. 45 caliber. That's the same caliber that killed Emily.
It doesn't prove anything.
You killed her. You killed Emily. Easy, just a minute, Jerry. Just save a little bit of him for Sheriff Keeler, all right?
Houston, just a minute. Nick does have a point. This isn't the only 45 caliber pistol in the world, Houston.
Yeah. I'm certainly glad you decided to stick around town for a little while. I mean, I'm going to have Sheriff Keeler check out the ballistics on your weapon.
I'll make sure he doesn't go anywhere.
Hey, pal. You
think Nick Harrigan did it?
He's the best candidate we've got so far.
Well, if the gun and ballistics check.
Maybe.
What's the matter with you? Something on your mind?
I don't know. It's all too easy. There's just a couple of things that just don't feel right.
Maybe because you're dealing with mystery writers who live in the world of illusions and dreams and twists and turns.
Could be, but hey, I get a funny feeling that the sheriff's department here is not going to have the facilities to run a ballistics check on his weapon. Means I'll have to fly it into L.A. later on this afternoon. Better give him a call.
Mayday, this is Matt Houston, over. I'm about 10 miles due south of Ciudad del Sol. I'm picking up ground fire, and my oil pressure's dropping fast. Mayday, if anybody out there can read me, listen, I tell you, my temperature's in the red. My oil line's been shot out. If I don't land this thing in a hurry, come on, girl. Just a little bit longer. Hang on for old Matlock. Whoever you are, this is war.
When this is all over, Houston, you better find some place to hide.
What are you going to do, come after me from behind prison bars?
I didn't do it. Shoot at you, shoot at a helicopter.
I was taking your gun in for a ballistics check. Now, who else has got reason to shoot me down?
It wasn't me.
We've heard that before. Now get in the car.
Hold it, Matt. I know this man. He's not a murderer.
Thank you, Wayne.
I'll see that my lawyers post the bail. You'll be out in a matter of hours, Nick.
Oh, listen, now, hold on just a minute. Now, that's all very generous, but I don't think it's a very good idea.
Consider yourself in big trouble when I'm sprung.
I'll let you know as soon as I get that ballistics report, Mr. Houston.
Matt, I think you acted hastily. Jail is no place for that man, not even for a couple of hours.
Mr. Slocum, if Harrigan didn't do it, then he's better off in custody anyway. If he didn't kill Emily, then he's a perfect target for the one who did.
Sorry, I don't follow you.
Well, if Harrigan remains here, then the killer just might arrange for an accident or suicide, thus closing the case and letting the real murderer go scot-free.
Miss Parsons, I'd like to put you under contract. Have you ever considered writing a thriller?
Mr. Houston.
Yes.
That's for being so smart. You were smart enough to figure out that Nick Harrigan killed Emily, all right. But you're not smart enough to ask yourself why. He did it for me.
Courtney, we understand how you...
No, you don't understand how I feel. That woman, Everyone knew her as this great wit on talk shows, thank you, and publicity circuit. But they didn't know her. The more scandal and pain she caused, the better she liked it, because that meant more publicity for her.
Well, we understood that's all she cared about.
Well, no one will miss Emily. But Nick Harrigan will be missed. I'll miss him. Oh, Lord, what that woman cost me. When she cost everyone she touched. Even poor Jerry Fenton. She would abuse him and insult him in public, and then she would make him work till all hours of the night.
Wait a minute. How do you know that?
Well, I would hear him pounding away at his typewriter every night since he's been here. You sure picked a rotten way to make a living.
CJ, I'm getting a very funny feeling. Don't ask me what it is, because if I'm wrong, I'm going to feel real stupid. Would you do something for me?
With a build-up like that, how can a girl refuse?
Well, listen, I want you to go to Emily's bungalow, see if you can find anything with her handwriting on it, preferably one of her manuscript pages. I'm going to go see Jerry Fenton's bungalow. I'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Houston, don't get into it with him. He's an ex-boxer. Hello? Oui, this is a chambermaid.
Who has a lousy Hungarian accent?
It's a French accent, Houston.
Whatever, CJ. Listen, I think I struck pure gold over here.
Terrific, because I just struck contracts, legal ones, and now I think that I'm thinking what you're thinking.
Well, that's super. Listen, I tell you what, I'm going to swing by your room, pick up those contracts. Meantime, why don't you get a hold of Sheriff Keeler, tell him to get him and his black and white over here pronto, all right?
You bet.
So you discovered our little secret, eh? Well, it's true, Houston. The ex-boxer was writing Emily's mystery novels. Now, what are you doing with these papers? What do you want with them?
Don't you know what they mean?
My lawyers drew them up. Of course I know what they mean. Jerry writes the books, and Emily does
I know does the publicity, and that's what everybody keeps telling me. Now, Wayne, will you please talk to me?
She was a failed actress who couldn't write a shopping list, but she was fabulous. She was flamboyant, and we were all getting rich.
Don't you understand? This contract is Jerry Fenton's motive for killing Emily.
Will you stop being silly? Why would he want to kill the goose that was laying all those lovely golden eggs? It's an updated contract, Houston. Just in time for this annual meeting. The Slocum Publishing Company was going to announce the
Would you stop playing games with me? Now, the new terms stink. Emily was getting a lion's share. She was getting greedy. Fenton just couldn't handle that.
I blame myself. I should have never allowed Jerry to sign those contracts. Oh, was in a rage. I knew it then. I knew it.
You knew he could kill her. Tell me where he is.
He's at the lake. I just left him earlier. He's out jogging. Houston. I discovered him, you know. Imagine. An ex-boxer. There's such a spin on his words. I could tell from the first pages.
CJ's already called the sheriff. I might go a little easier on him if you're out there.
No, I don't think I could handle that.
How long does it take you to get here?
Oh, Jerry, you look all upset. I came right over when you called.
Houston knows. He took my pages.
Houston knows nothing. You better calm down. You need a drink.
He didn't take those pages for nothing.
He showed me the pages. I explained everything to him, Jerry.
Explained what? Explained how?
I explained how our business works. I explained about the ghostwriting. I explained about the contracts. He understood that. Jerry, everything is fine.
Fine. Anybody with a glass eye could see what happened. With my manuscript. And that contract. He's sure to think that I killed her. Or at least had something to do with it.
Well, there's an argument for that. But you can also say that you are the last person in the world who would want to see Emily dead. It would ruin you. He understood that. Jerry, why shouldn't he?
He's smart. He'll figure it out.
Well, you're right about that, Jerry. Houston is smart. And you? You're not that tough, big as you are. Houston followed the trail to you. If he should decide to put a little squeeze on you, you wouldn't mind trading off a few years in prison with me.
Huh? What? I don't feel so good.
I always wanted to tell you, Jerry, how much I liked you. How much I enjoyed our association together. And I was wondering if there was some last thing you wanted me to do. Someone you wanted me to look up.
What are you talking about? What are you doing?
Well, I'm typing up your suicide note. I put poison in your glass. You've got about, 20 seconds to live. Yes, Jerry? You're right about one thing. Houston is smart. And I think he probably would have found out about everything. But I'm smarter. I have decided to end this little game. With you. I'm sorry, Jerry. You certainly did have a way with those typewriter keys. You and I could have earned an awful lot more money together. I'll miss that.
Now I know why I didn't find Jerry down by the lake.
It was a suicide, Houston. The maid found the body. Apparently he poisoned himself.
Oh, Sheriff?
Mr. Houston, it looks like this case is all wrapped up. Oh, I want to show you something. I found this hidden in the room. I expect the lab will confirm it's the murder weapon. And, might take a look at this. Found this in his typewriter.
She deserved to die. I would have gotten away with it if it hadn't been for Matt Houston. I tried to kill him, but I know now my arrest is inevitable. Can't stand the thought of prison.
I, want to thank you for all your help. Is there, something wrong, Mr. Houston?
Well, it's just a feeling, you know the feeling that you get when the hair on the back of your neck stands up, something's wrong, out of place.
Yeah, well, I get that every once in a while, especially when my wife goes on a shopping spree.
Yeah, well, this really isn't a shopping spree. Listen, I just wish I could put my finger on it.
Yeah, well, if you need any help, you just let me know, okay? And again, thank you, sir. Ma'am.
Listen, there is something you could do for me. I mean, seeing as how I got to the scene of the crime a little late when Emily Armour was killed, I thought maybe I could take a look at your official report.
Sure you can. I got it in my briefcase in the car. I'll get it for you.
I suppose you're wondering what I'm doing here, while out there, my friend and associate is being carted off in a body bag.
I'm here to arrest you for murder, Wayne. You killed Emily. You almost got away with it.
Please, Houston, it was Jerry. You said so yourself. Emily got greedy and so...
Come on. Jerry was your accomplice. You see, Jerry's the one that fired 3 shots I heard on the phone when I was talking to you. It was the perfect alibi, but you made 2 mistakes.
You know, I think you and Miss Parsons really ought to start writing thrillers. All right. 2 mistakes.
Well, it first happened by chance. Remember that first night when you hid in CJ's room and you scared her half to death to try and get us off the case? Well, you had no way of knowing that I was going to run into your partner outside of Emily's room. See, that told me that there had to be an accomplice.
Circumstantial evidence, Houston. Circumstantial evidence. It could have been any common burglar.
Yeah, that's true. But there is something else, Wayne. See, I read the sheriff's report. There were no powder burns on Emily's body. That was your big mistake.
Powder burns?
Yeah. That body would have had to have had powder burns on it to be shot at close range, but there were none. That means that somebody muffled those shots. It means the shots I heard on the phone didn't kill her. She was killed earlier.
Well, it still could have been someone else.
Why would anybody else want to do something like that unless they were trying to create the perfect alibi?
Jerry blamed me for getting him into that mess with Emily. And he said if I didn't get him out of it, he'd leave the Slocum Publishing Company. Now, you know that Jerry's books were selling in the millions.
That's right, and they kept your company in the black. Couldn't afford to lose your star writer, so you killed Emily. Then when you realized that I was getting too close, you killed Jerry just to protect your own skin.
It's because of you that I killed Jerry. You've cost me a lot. We've known each other a long time, pal. I'm gonna ask you something. Let it be. Walk away. I can't do that. Well, I can't let you take me in.
Friend, this is not what I'd call a happy ending for either one of us.
Your mama, you're the soul of Italy. Okay, now is she, excuse me, he comes out of the kitchen bearing Mama Novelli's food fit for the gods. What I want you to do is I want you to frame the archway, the grape leaves on the lattice work, the candles, the ambiance of Italy, and then as she comes down into a close, she says...
Are you gonna love it?
Great, I want you to hold on that smile. Then I want you to rack back down here past the wine, past the candles, past the bread, to the Mama Novelli's package featuring the logo. That's what we're selling. Rack clothes. What? This is made for home movies. Oh, no. Houston, thank goodness. You're right on cue.
Myra, you told me to come down here in a hurry. What's going on?
Look, we're making a test run for a commercial. I wanted to get some of my concepts down on film here so those advertising guys didn't botch it up. This is it. This is the beginning. I wanted you here to be part of this great moment. Yes, but also because I felt the restaurant should be populated for the spot. Look, just don't worry. Just sit down. There's no speaking parts. Your only atmosphere. Savario has the only line here.
You're gonna love it.
Oh, excellent. Boy, I wish Mama was here. Somehow, it's not quite the same. Rehearsal.
But I'm not Mama Novelli.
Mama gonna go for this whole thing?
She fell in love with the idea.
Yeah, well, where is she?
She's gone to inspect the factory where the food is actually made.
All right, you can handle that. Now, remember, energy. All right, everybody, let's try one of these things. Great. All right, everybody, now, let's do one.
Ready when you are, CB.
Are you gonna love it?
Not yet.
Never mind, it's all off. There's not going to be any Mama Novelli's frozen foods.
What do you mean, Mama? I thought you were all excited about this idea.
Yeah, sure. For the restaurant, it's fine. But for all that food, per carità, you need a factory.
Yeah, but Houston, I made such a great deal. I got the same place that makes Chef Linguini's frozen pizza.
Chef Linguini's pizza is not pizza. It's a cardboard with ketchup on it. And now they're just going to make more. Stick it in a box. And with the name Novelli on it? Ma, siete matti. Never.
Mama, we'll make a fortune.
Hey, he who steals my purse steals trash. But he who steals my name, they're asking for trouble.
Sevario's.
You're gonna love it.